So over the years, farming has changed a lot. There's one place it's changed a whole lot, and that's in the size of the bales. Traditionally, when I was a kid growing up, all we made were small square bales, you know, about 40 inches long, 18 inches by 16 inches or so. You still find those around today. But many farmers, especially the wheat growers out west, have switched to these super-sized bales, these big giant bales. So I get a lot of questions from people about, can I use these big bales, these 500-600 pound bales? They're about 6-7 feet long and 4 feet wide and 4 feet tall. Can I use those for straw bale gardening? The answer is yes, you can use them, but there's a few cautionary notes. One is they take a long time to condition. They get hot and they stay hot for a long time. Right now we're in the middle of July, so these bales should be well conditioned and cooled down by now. And I just stuck my hand inside this bale. It still feels like it's about 200 degrees down in the middle of the bale. So it's still generating lots of heat, and that could be really difficult for your crops, because at some point the roots need to cool down so that the plants can do better. So it can sometimes keep your plants too hot. You'll see a few of the things planted in this bale just didn't do very well, and it's probably because it's generating so much heat for such a long period of time. The other difficulty with these big bales is it's hard to keep them wet. It takes a lot of moisture to get them wet, and then to keep them wet all the time takes a lot more water. If you don't keep these large bales wet, you're going to get a family of mice that will move into your garden, and that's not good for anybody when it comes to vegetable gardening. They're going to eat your crops before you get a chance to. So I would suggest, if you're going to use the large bales, that you start your conditioning process quite a bit earlier, probably a month earlier. You might even start conditioning them in the fall if you're going to plant in the early spring. To help speed up that process of getting them conditioned the following spring. The other thing that people have done with success is to cut them in half. I know that sounds really strange, but you can cut the bale in half. Leave the strings intact, so you cut right between the strings. And if you use a chainsaw to do that, apparently it gums up your saw a little bit, but it does work to cut the bales in half. So that might be a strategy for you to try as well. Otherwise, if I were you and you had your choice, I'd stick with the smaller bales. They just seem to work better because they condition more quickly. Good luck with your straw bale garden.